Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu unseren Zuschauern aus dem deutschsprachigen Raum zu einer neuen Episode von Journey to the Chateau. Diese Woche das Badezimmer, beide Badezimmer. Es gibt Fortschritte und der faszinierendste Brocante-Markt, auf dem wir jemals gewesen sind, in einer mittelalterlichen Stadt. Fantastisch.
Bonsoir tout le monde, bienvenue à Journey to the Château de Colombes sur le territoire de la commune de Saint-Baudel.
And now, turning speaking friends. Got it. From around the world.
Yes, welcome to another episode of Journey to the Chateau.
And it was, there's progress in both bathrooms, which is lovely. And
there is. And this episode is about what we've done in the bed and breakfast bathroom.
yes.
Yes.
And the most fascinating brocante we've ever been to. It's in a medieval city, and the entire town was blocked off for traffic. So the old castle is a ruin, but actually quite a well-preserved one. Mm-hmm. And it was absolutely fascinating. Now, on that note,
yes,
let's start. So, look at that.
Okay, that might be a bit crooked.
Yeah, well, everything is crooked here. It's from this end to that, but then this wall here, the little side wall, is more crooked than, or has a different angle than this one. That is all going together. I mean, shrinking. That wall is level now, up and down, but it's also opening up further at the top, and it's over 10 centimeters taller at the outside wall than on the inside. So in order to get this laid out and not have huge gaps that just fans out, just want to see how I can do this properly, because I need to adjust for all the crookedness.
Yeah, I mean, even from here you can see that this side is actually closer to the camera than this side is over here. You can see that angle there.
Yeah, what I want to do is mark this so I can have some kind of
a guide.
To, yes. And I do not want to spend a long time on cutting all the edges, cutting 200 tiles so it just fits everywhere.
Right.
And that means a lot of adjustment. And it's very annoying in a way, because you can't just, like a new construction, say, oh, well, we're starting, and you just know exactly where to go. But once we have the first row marked up, so we know exactly where that needs to go. Mm-hmm. And this, of course, will have a threshold, which helps a bit. So here you can see I have a gap more in the wall, and there it's a bit too tight, while I still here have things that are where it's not covered. So it is a bit of a pain in the neck.
Right.
So what I like to do, and this is not wiggling, it's probably incredibly boring to anyone who watches this. So there's just some dust underneath here. This looks actually pretty good, don't you think?
Yeah.
So you see here. Yeah, that's pretty good. So yep. So in case you're wondering, that was actually Tony and Jane's grandson, William, who's visiting his grandparents here in France, and he came over with Tony today because Tony said, let's just, since I was done tiling and grouting.
Right.
Well, I'm not done because I still have cutting to do
Yeah.
with the swallow still in the workshop.
That's where the tile cutter is. Yes.
But having said that, this is not urgent. I can do this. These are detail work that is easy to do later. But so just it's nice to see progress.
Yeah, and I had put the vanity together.
Yep.
And so we were at the part after once the floor was done. After Patrick did the floor, then we could have the vanity put in,
Yep.
which Tony had already prepared all of the plumbing beforehand. So he was waiting for us to get done with the flooring,
Yes.
so he could come in and then hook up the vanity.
And yes, and while that happened, we had one of the most ferocious storms we've ever seen.
We did.
So clearly there's more work to be done in the bathroom, and most of that is working with the original paneling and walls. More scraping, more sanding, and a lot of painting.
Right?
But having said that, so that is all on its way. It's lovely. And then there was the brocante.
Yes, the brocante from last weekend. And that was, the name of the town was Hérisson?
Hérisson, yeah.
Hérisson, yes. Yes, and a beautiful town, sort of like down in a valley.
Yes,
Right?
Yes, it was basically the river where goods came through, and two roads met, and had this big castle in it, and just lovely. And really, the entire town is there are 5 parking areas around it, which are just fields.
Right.
And they're very strict. You couldn't get down there. So anyone who wanted to buy something that you couldn't carry, well, too bad for you. I mean, I don't know how they would deal with that. But
right.
it was lovely. And we met up with Tony and Jane, and Eve and
Richard?
Richard.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, it's Richard. No, Richard. So, Richard, because they're Dutch. And it was a lovely, lovely day.
Yes, and we actually bought quite a few things, and we will tell you about them right after you see the brocante.
And it was hotter than hell.
It was.
So, our recent brocante finds, right?
Yeah. Oops. Needs a little tender love and care,
Yeah.
which you will get.
Well, that's cute, isn't it?
It's adorable.
Yeah.
And we have a few smaller rooms where we have not so pretty things hanging on the ceiling. So this will be a welcome addition upstairs.
Yeah.
Very happy about that. So let's see. That'll be my 7th restoration of a
Chandelier. Oh, yeah. Well,
Okay, so that was almost a fist fight.
yes.
So we did get this from the box, and we were looking for maybe having tissu stabilisé. You can wash it; it's guaranteed.
Oh, that's great. Yes. Wow.
So that's pattern on pattern.
Okay, I was going to say that on that tablecloth is a little crazy, but okay. Yeah.
So this we're going to turn into a costume.
Yeah, we've been starting to look for fabrics that we can actually, buy old curtains and things that patterns that we like, and actually use them to make costumes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's a really good find.
In our spare time.
Yes, because we have nothing else better to do. Right.
But quite frankly, it's a fair statement that sometimes taking half a day and not do renovations, but do something that's actually fun.
Right.
Not that the renovations aren't fun, but it's also, they're the chores that everyone has.
Right.
And so then to say, you know what, I'm going to do this instead for a couple of hours, that just is kind of necessary for your mental health, isn't it?
Exactly. That's right.
Now, these are not actually lined.
No, it is the back of the fabric.
That is the
And
back
look how
of the
beautiful
fabric.
the back of the fabric is as well.
Yeah, it's you could use both sides, but I mean, this is quite lovely. And it's washable. Now we know.
And that was 2 panels that size,
That
right?
was two panels, same size. Each panel was €2.50.
Wow.
So, oh, well, here, this is, again, the Renaissance pattern for Gien. It's hand painted. It's really, really lovely. It's quite old. And it was a find. We have actually seen that lady before. She's quite a extensive collection. And maybe she just wanted me to go away because she gave us this for a good price.
Right. Yeah, and it already has, actually it has a hanger already
Yes.
attached on the back as well. You can see the beautiful pattern on the back as well.
Yes. So it's patterns all the way around.
Yeah, that was a great find.
Beautiful. I'm very, very happy about that.
Yeah.
I'm actually happy about all of them. Well, and then, who doesn't like a good, nice piece of copper? It's stamped over here. So it's actually quite heavy, and it's when one of those moments when you don't even argue with the...
No. When the price is good,
Yeah, we paid €3 for
yeah,
this.
€3, that's it.
So, lovely.
Not going to argue with that.
No. Then, this was the almost fist fight. It's actually quite a lovely, again, pattern on pattern. So it's like a throw or a thick, well, I don't know.
It's interesting
tablecloth?
because it almost resembles
It's like a gobelin.
almost resembles a tapestry.
Yeah,
sort
it's
of
like a
thing,
gobelin, but woven, so it's more an aubusson, I suppose.
Yeah.
Really, really nice. So there was this lady at a booth picking this up, looking at it, throwing it back in the
box.
cardboard box.
Wow.
And there was also where those two curtains were. And so I saw this and I said, Stuart, you know what, something we can do with it. No, we just find something. Picked up the two curtains, and that lady came back while I was talking to the owner. And she looked at me and she wanted to just take it out of my hands. She said, no, I looked at that before. I was like, you just put it back in the box.
And walked away, so yeah.
And I said, yeah, you left. And she said, but I'm interested in it. And I said, so am I. And I asked the lady, so all of this was just, €10. So I took it, just looked at her, and she was very annoyed with me. How dare I pick something up that she did not want to buy? It was very funny.
Yeah.
So then we got another thing that, another couple of things.
Oh yeah.
But these are so heavy. I mean, they're really, really old. This is insane. And then we got this thing that, yes, when you have the fire rings, you can actually put that in the fire, and this needs to be just cleaned up quite a bit. And of course, this doesn't quite fit, but this is the universal lids. One is bigger because one is 20 and one is 21. And there you go. And you have that on your lid for any pot.
Yeah. Yeah. So
No,
now
not for any.
that's great. Now
Of course,
we have 3 lids now, which
Yes.
is great.
It was lovely. Again, people. A lot of the people we bartered with or bargained with were just absolutely delightful.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And it was really, really hot. That day was terrible.
It was.
And then we got something else. So this is all Baroque pattern. It's 12 Juillet-ish, yes.
Yeah. So those are
With the backside.
two pillow shams.
Yes, what a sham. And, sorry. So the back side is always striped very nicely. And,
And I don't even think we even knew when we bought this what size this was. did
we still don't know.
Right.
It's big.
But yeah, it is.
There is there's no tag on it, but it is absolutely lovely. And especially in the summer here, you don't need something heavy. And so this is just lovely as a cover.
Yeah, so good finds, right?
Yes, and again, this was so cheap. We didn't even. I just looked at it and said, okay. So it's lovely. We're very, very happy, but we had to carry all of this. And it doesn't look like much, but everything weighs quite a bit, and we had to carry that up that mountain.
Yeah, we had to park quite far away to this brocante.
Well, it's yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll talk about that in our little introduction to this.
We will.
So that concludes today, kind of, sort of.
Right.
So for next week, we will show a part of the chateau that maybe 4 or 5 people have seen.
Right.
So it's kind of a big secret and a whole new way of watering our plants. And if you like this episode, please give us great. Please give us a thumbs up.
Yes. Share with your friends.
And comment on it. We still try to reply to every comment that we get.
And if you want to support the restoration of the chateau, you can join us on Patreon.
Or buy us a coffee. And
we will see you on Wednesday.
Absolutely.
Au revoir.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this video, please use the like feature to let us know. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our Journey to the Chateau YouTube channel if you would like to see more. Once you've subscribed, you can tap the notification bell in order to ring it, which will allow you to receive all notifications from our channel. Thank you.